You probably hit cancel every time thinking it's next. Thinking it's continuing, it's just next. You know what I mean? By the way, speaking of that falling down, I got to get more of that glue accelerator. You know what I mean? Alright, everybody. So we're going to pick up where we left off the other day, or a little bit after where we left off. We got the pavilion done. Now we're going to cut the crown. So what the crown is that's the top of the stone. And it's one of the last things you do. These sets of facets, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 sets of, or 8 rows of facets. And then we got the table. So let's see how we're gonna end up doing this. I don't know how long I'll be streaming tonight. But since it's Sunday, I wanted to give people a chance to kind of see what it takes to get through to the crown. I figured I'd go ahead and stream this part as well to the best of my ability. I think the hardest thing about doing the crown is number one, keeping it on the dot. I think that's just the hardest part for me in general because I'm really heavy-handed. So as you can see, I put a ton of glue on this thing to try to keep it onto the dot. But it looks like we're doing pretty okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue to lower this down. And I'm just going to hold this glue and the stone together onto this. And that'll hopefully keep it on there. We're going to cut this down to absolutely as narrow as we can. And that's because it helps the jewelers when they actually set the stone. They need that girdle. So this side piece here, they need that side piece as small as possible, right? So that's what our goal is right now, is with our C1 cuts or crown 1 cuts, is to narrow out that girdle. If anybody's got questions, be sure to ask. But yeah, we're going to finish this up. And it's a beautiful amethyst. It's Uruguayan amethyst. Or as other people say, it's amethyst from Uruguay. I know it's probably funny hearing it come from a tongue like mine. But yeah, beautiful amethyst. Really good stuff. What we're doing right now is we're just going to cut this down as good as we can. Let's see, we need to meet. In our second row, we're going to have to meet the G2 facets with the G3 facets. So our G2 and our G3 facets with our C1. Should be relatively easy. If anybody wants to ask any questions, like I said, I'll be more than answer. Well, we're going to try to get this cut all the way. I'm trying to do my best to get some line in there for you without compromising my ability to cut the stone, which I think we are doing. And I have a plan. I don't know if it'll work, but I do have a plan. Under your hand, maybe more. I can try my best, of course. Let's see. Wonder if that'll help Does that help more? Y'all let me know. But I do have planned to get more lights in this room and a magnifying, so like a doctor's magnifying glass, a dentist's one. So that way we can hopefully have a little bit more room for people to see. Does that help at all, any? No problem. No problem. Dream, I appreciate you making the suggestion, because it will definitely help. So what we're doing is we're making that little girdle piece as low as we possibly can. And I don't want to like really flick that glue out the way too much, because I am kind of worried that if I do, I'll weaken the bond between the dop and the glue and the gemstone. But I do see that we do need to go further. I'm just kind of, this is a big piece of amethyst for me at least, you know. It's Uruguayan. I got it from joehenley.com. He sells rough. Let's look at this. But like I said, I do plan on getting some better optics for everybody. And I'm probably going to end cutting right there and finish cutting the girdle. And I want to see basically how much deviation I got that I have to use my cheater on. What's it for? So this is a faceting machine. It's used to facet gemstones. I don't know if I got any finished faceted pieces in here. I think I do. I think I got one. So, if I can. So it's used for faceting gemstones. I don't know if you can kind of see it. Again, I need a light. My big old dumb fingers. So it's used for faceting gemstones and stuff like that. And let's get, you want to get it on there? So it's used for fastening gemstones like this. And you're gonna have to show it because I can't. I got big old dumb fingers sometimes. But that's what it's used for. So like in people's rings and all that. Thank you. And people's rings and all that. And my wife's gonna show even better image. Forgive the smudges on it. That's my fingers. But yeah, my goal is to hopefully get more people into faceting, so that way, you know, we can get more young people into it. Basically, there's a lot of older people that's into it, but you know, they end up passing away, and we need younger people to take the reins of it, if that makes sense. So, and when I'm 33, and when I go to shows, I'm one of the youngest guys there. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's disappointing, but it's just, it makes you wonder, you know. Let's see. We're going to lower that down some more. And I always come up and come back down. I may be a little off, but whenever I go and check the stone again, after everything, that's when I kind of level everything out. And plus I can kind of see with my cheater how far I actually need to move either to the left or right with my cheater, because the angles after you transfer them, they're never going to be 100% aligned. So they'll either be like this or like this a little bit, right? So you can use that cheater to make it level again. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping YouTube will really help. I hope that, you know, again, you know, I know I'm not going to be the end all be all of lapidary and faceting and things like that, but I hope that I can be somebody that remembers and goes, you know, I learned some stuff from him and he got me starting it, and hopefully it helps people build a career too, especially a lot of young people. I would love to see people start their own careers cutting gemstones and things like that. To me, it's just a hobby. But I'm hoping that for other people. Oh, congratulations. Do you cut as well, Dream? If you do, who knows, maybe we could do something together sometime. Sorry, let me move my hand a little bit more. We'll take a look at that. I think that's okay. Oh, you play Fortnite? Okay. You know, I've never played Fortnite. I was actually playing Stalker today, Stalker 2, and then Goat Simulator 3 with my cousin and them. But never played Fortnite. I like Ready or Not. 6 Days in Fallujah is a pretty good game. Things like that, but never played no Fortnite. But I know people do find it fun though. So, and it's funny, me and my cousin and them we were playing Goat Simulator 3 today as well, and we were having a blast on that now. We were just being a bunch of goofballs. Oh man. That's maybe actually one of the rare ones where I actually have the cheater. Not to have to move the cheater so much on this thing. But Dream if you want to. Yeah, kind of. So we kind of make it look like a diamond. So these are different cuts, and what different cuts are is I got a piece hanging right here. So these are our little diagrams to make cuts, but you actually cut like gemstones of all types with this. Aquamarine, amethyst, citrine, just all kinds of different gemstones, ruby, sapphires, things like that. And so you cut them to fit in people's rings and stuff like that, or pieces of jewelry. And diamonds actually is one of the few things I can't cut with this machine right here. And that's because diamonds are obviously very, very hard. And I looked in, just out of curiosity, how much to get one of those machines that actually specifically cut diamonds. And I think it's like double the cost of this machine. So if I remember correctly, it's somewhere around like 10,000, something like that, dollars, maybe 12. So yeah. Plus, I don't really have the urge to cut a diamond, if that makes sense. So, but things like aquamarines, amethyst, yeah, I know they're really expensive. That's kind of one of the reasons why your diamonds are so expensive too. And a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of diamonds nowadays can be lab grown. It does end up that way. I got to look at this real quick and make sure I'm doing the right thing. I apologize to everybody watching. I got to turn this over and look at it. No, we're getting there. We're getting there for sure. All right. I just wanted to make sure. But, yeah, so they can be pretty expensive, and that's why they're so expensive for people to buy, is that just the tools to cut them are just that expensive. But that's also why some of these things are so expensive as well, is because, again, the tools are so expensive. Now some people cut them without the machine guide, and this mast is like a little guide. So this is what this is called, is a mast, and it kind of guides you. A lot of it's still done by eye, though. But That's usually why, like, a cut amethyst is what it is. So, how do you cut diamonds? So, I don't really cut diamonds. I just cut, like I said, amethyst, aquamarines, things like that, quartzes. But I do know that there is a machine out there that people use to cut diamonds. Now, I don't know exactly how it works, but I do know there is a machine out there. What I can do is I could probably make a video on it after doing some research and asking around, if that's something you'd be interested in. I don't mind doing that. We're just going to check this out. Looks like we're all even, which is very rare. It's weird. It doesn't look like I have to use that little cheater knob up here, which is it's kind of got me excited and kind of got me nervous all at the same time, because you know, too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. Yeah, okay, yeah, no problem. I'll do a little research on it and get exactly how they do it, and I'll call some people and ask them how they do it, and we'll get an answer for everybody and make a video on it, if that's what y'all want, for sure. You know, that's why I like live streams too. I usually when I'm sitting in here and you just hear all the time, you don't really get to talk to people. It's kind of I don't want to say it's boring, but you know, I like to talk to people. So, you know, pardon about the squeaking. But yeah, if we can do that for everybody and we can get y'all an answer on that, that'd be pretty cool. But I do know that one of their machines, they use like these really, really coarse diamond plates in them. But I don't know if that's exactly how it's cut. Like mine are diamond as well. These laps, they're actually diamond impregnated, right? And that's how they cut through gemstones so easily. But let's see. All right, I need to go way up more. There we go. Just until it barely touches. That's what we're gonna do. And I know y'all can't hear it, but there's a little skipping that's going. That's how I know it's touching, right? And just to let people know, I'm not afraid to admit that I'm wrong on something. I'm not afraid to admit that, you know, if I'm leading you astray and I don't know it at the time and I come back and find out I'm led astray, I do not admit making an apology for that, things like that. So I really have no ego about this. I feel like I'm good. I feel like I'm really good at what I do, but I don't want to be egotistical about it. So, and especially like I've met facetors on here. You know what I mean? I've met some facetors on here that just gave me great advice. Live streaming. So I always want to approach these streams as humble as I can, while still giving the information I do know. So that way, if somebody does know more than me, shoot, put down what you know, and you know what I mean? Put it down in the chat. You know, I want to know. Because if I can relay the best information on to other people, we can get a lot of people into this, and my hopes is that this hobby does not die. There's a lot of older generations into this, and there's not a lot of younger generations into this, and I don't want it to die. I want people to thrive, and especially young people who, you know, if you're young and you're just starting out, number one, you probably don't have a lot of money to begin with to start a hobby. Kind of like me, you know what I mean? It's kind of a little scary in a way. So it's a little scary spending all that money. So I want to make it as painless as possible for everybody watching, you know. But I mean, just This machine alone right here cost me $6,000. $6,000, y'all. And this is one of the baser units. And the reason why it cost me $6,000 is, one thing is this right here, which I think is one of the essential things to use, right? It is called a transfer jig. And what it does is it transfers your stones, right, from one dot to the other. So whenever I'm cutting pavilion, I have to use one dot from when I'm cutting the crown. And I'll make an in-depth video about all this. But if it's off by a fraction of a millimeter, it can really screw up your stone and make you spend extra hours cutting that you don't need to do, right? So just for ease of life, like a quality of life patch in a video game, this is a quality of life patch in faceting. This is like, it's really good, but I think it costs, if you order a new faceting machine with it, it costs like $300. And if you order it just by itself, I think it's like $450 or $500. But it's, I mean, it's precise. You can't beat precise, you know. And Dream, yeah, for real, Dream, it is like, it is the thing. You know what I mean? But it can save you your sanity as well. And that's where it gets to be like, okay, you know, it's expensive, but it's worth it. And you know, what's not worth it? So you definitely want to get a good master lap. And your master lap is, hold on, let me show you. So it's a lap like this. It's just a flat lap, right? That has no diamond paste in it or anything whatsoever. And it's just a completely flat milled lap, right? And it's like you're not going to find any deviation in that lap, right? And then I would recommend getting these things called topper laps, right? These are these thin laps. And you put them down the master lap and you screw it down and tighten it, right? And this is a 600 grit, so it's got little diamonds in there that would equal out to 600 grit. And this is what you use to cut. Now these laps can be significantly cheaper because you're not buying the back already on there. Now, the master lap is going to be expensive if you get a really, really good one, which is what I did. And it costs, I think, about $350. And but that saves me in the long run, because these laps right here, I can spend, let's just say I spend $70 on each lap. Well, the good news is that these are from Lightning Lap. So let's say I spend $70, but they run down course. Well, guess what's going to happen? When they run down and they're no longer usable anymore, I can send them back to Lightning Lap, get them refinished for $30. If I just buy the laps with already the backs on them and they're stationed on there, then guess what's going to happen? I'm going to have to buy me another $170 lap to replace that old one. So the master lap's going to save you money in the long run, big time. And that's going to be one of my biggest recommendations to save money, is to do it that way. You know what I mean? Let's see if I can lower this down correct. There we go. There we go. Get it lowered down. There we go. So we got those, excuse me, we got those two, I'm sorry, those 4 facets cut. I apologize about the squeaking again. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this 1200 grit lap off, this one right here, and 1200 is just to kind of remove some scratches and stuff like that, right? And then we're going to move to our 4000. Or I'm sorry, our 8,000 grit lap. And this is our 8,000 grit. So let's go ahead and get this back on there. And I do plan on cutting some more intricate designs in the future. So, like, there's a design in a book I got that's faceting designs, right? And it's got a butterfly in it. And I'm kind of wanting to do that design as well. And there's some designs that's got spiders, crosses, like Nova stars and stuff like that. So there's a lot of cool things in these books. I plan on eventually doing them all, and hopefully doing them all in there, either in a video or in a live stream. It just depends. Let's see. We gotta move up more. We gotta move up. Why is it on the? It's like it's. What's going on here? Alright, sorry about that. We're just gonna polish that. With the 8000, we're gonna polish that right there. And it doesn't take a lot once you get to this 8000 grit to get a good polish on there, a nice shine. But what we will also want to do is we want, out of the lower points, hello odd cat. We want to take out as much scratches below as we can on the bottom piece here, because the bottom piece is really what's going to remain the most. The top pieces will eventually cut into them. So that's not such a big worry for me. But those bottom pieces have got to be on point. So let's go ahead and check these out under the 10 times. And I do see small scratches. Now y'all won't be able to see them. And again, probably the person that gets the stone won't be able to see them either. But that's okay because we can see them, right? So if I can see it, it's a problem. So, and that's the way you have to approach lapidary in general, is that, you know, the old adage that construction workers used to have, I can't see it from my house. Well, look, I can see it. Alright, so that's a problem. So let's do 46. There we go. Anybody in here that hasn't, I'd like to ask y'all to like and subscribe. It does help the channel out. And I'm just happy that, you know, anybody's watching and getting interested in it, especially Dream. You want to be a mechanic? There's nothing wrong with that. So my dad, he's a diesel mechanic. He works in a shop. He's like the head of the shop now. But he worked as a diesel mechanic. And then there's a lot of people in my family that's done some kind of mechanic work in some way or form. I mean, I used to help Dad, but that's between getting yelled at. So you got to learn what you can while getting yelled at. If you want to be a diesel mechanic, from what he's told me, if you go with United Reynolds, they will actually send you to school to be a diesel mechanic. So if that's something you're interested in, now they'll work you hard though. Don't get me wrong, they're gonna work you hard, and I think most of the guys are salary, not hourly. But again, I could be wrong about that. But if this is something you're interested in, it'd be a good hobby and could be a little good way to make some side money. And we're actually running into a tough spot here, and you know, with some gemstones you run into tough spots here and there. But I think we got it though. I think we got it. But there's nothing wrong at all with wanting to be mechanics. We got too many doctors and lawyers. Well, probably not doctors, but we got too many lawyers around nowadays, and not enough of the trade skills, to be honest. And I will say the tradesmen, they're pretty good people and make pretty good money. So don't be ashamed of that one bit. But we what we're doing is we're just cutting this one right down. We're going to get it as close to perfect as we can. Now, you'll never get perfect, but we can always chase that goal. But we'll get it as close as perfect as we can. So what I'm doing is I'm faceting Amethyst gemstone. We're cutting it into an oval shape, and that way either my wife can set it into a ring, or we can give it to somebody and they can get it set into a ring. We are trying our best to get it cut down to where or polished down to where there's no marks left from our 1200 grit lap. And I don't know if y'all can see it, but in the very bottom right corner of this facet, we still have a tiny bit, so we have to touch it up. And for anybody that's interested in gemstones and stuff like that, please make sure to like and subscribe. It does help the channel out, but also hopefully it will help people get into lapidary and faceting. I do have plans to do swords and crush opal and put it into the sword. Things like grips for pistolas and things like that. So you know, we got big plans for this channel. It's just getting there. You know, we got to get there to do it. So we're going to go ahead and continue cutting, because for some reason this does not want to cut that little piece out, and I don't know why. Let's see. We're still maintaining our good and even piece here, so we're not making it uneven in any way on our facet, but we are cutting into it very slightly, a little bit at a time. You can buy a soundproof like foam to put on the walls. It's supposed to quiet your room a lot, and then people might want to watch your videos more. Not hating at all. Oh, no, I actually like what you're saying. Yeah, we can do that. It's just in the shop we won't be able to, because that dust collects, and we want that dust to fall down as much as possible so we can sweep it out so people aren't breathing it in. But I see what you're saying, and I agree. We need to have like a dedicated room for me to do like voiceovers and, you know, like talking and everything. I absolutely agree with you. I think you're on point. And yeah, man, I actually like it. So and I'm sure soundproof foam ain't that expensive at all. I just never thought about it, to be honest. I like that idea though, for sure. So let's go ahead and cut that up, or, you know, put that on there. And so after this one, we're going to use the 5,000 grit lap. So that's 5,000 grit diamond lamp. And what we're going to do is actually going to be our final polish. This is our pre-polish. That'll be our final polish for those few rows of facets. I actually like that idea. The more I think about it, the more I want to do it, especially with this faceting machine, because this doesn't really like kick dust around crazy. So putting it up in this room would be pretty easy to do, I think, without having to worry. And this can be like, since it's the workroom, we're just going to check this out, make sure we got no big cuts in there. Make sure we got everything going. That's it. That's it. I think we're getting it good now. So, I wanted to, we started on this the other day in a live, and I wanted to at least show you that I was still working on it. And we haven't abandoned it any. Sorry. I have to kind of do that when I want to lower the thing while cutting. Actually, I might be able to do this. There we go. A little crisscross applesauce. Let's see what we got here. Because I think what's happening, I think this glue, so I use rubber glue, is getting in the way of the actual lap cutting the bottom piece. So it's not actually wanting to get a good cut in on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep working it until all those tiny little micro scratches will be removed by the 50,000 grit, which is what we just did. So now we're going to take this 8,000 grit, right, and we're going to take it off the lap, and we're going to replace it with the 50,000 grit. So let's go ahead and put it right there. And I actually have like a little tray holder from Walmart, like a dish holder, and we put the little laps in there. It's a little cheap way. No problem, Dream. No problem, Dream. You take care of yourself, buddy. And be safe. And be sure to come back and hang out with us again sometime. Alright, let's get that water running again. Put the tray back up. And then lower it back down. Lower this back down. And hopefully, there we go. And while it touches, we're just going to slowly cut our way to a nice, beautiful shine on this amethyst. Beautiful, beautiful. And it doesn't take a lot. I'm still going to hit it up just a little bit more. And I'm not going to run it very hard, right? I'm just going to be very soft with it, very gentle. And I got to tell myself to be very soft and very gentle because I got heavy hands. So what we're going to do is we're going to just, again, very soft, very gentle. We're just going to run it over that 50,000 grit lap. There we go. Get as much of those micro scratches out as we can with that 50,000 grit. Get a nice pretty polish on it. Beautiful, beautiful. We're going to hit it up one more again. Just one more again. There we go. And, you know, amethyst and stuff like that's pretty hard stone to cut. I believe it's like a 9 on the Mohs scale of hardness. For some reason this side does have a few more micro scratches that as I cut down I see. So we're just wanting to remove those as best as we can without actually cutting too far past where we need to. We're just going to check every now and again. Put it down a little bit more. Put it down a little bit more. And grind on it. And this is what a lot of your like fasteners do. So the gemstones that go in your rings and pendants and stuff. One of the reasons, you're like, man, these gemstones cost a lot. Well, if they're natural, then there's a limited supply. Right? But also, if they've cut this, they probably cut on it for, I mean, basic designs, faceted stones, I've heard people say 2 hours. Which, I mean, you think 2 hours ain't a lot, but 2 hours of their time is 2 hours of their time, you know what I mean? And their skilled labor. And then people like me who's still starting out, still new, it's going to take me like 8 hours to do something like this. You know what I mean? But, I mean, 8 hours of my time, you know, hey, I'm not going to try to give anybody no stone for 8 hours of my time. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous, especially since it's my fault. I'm not, you know, at that skill level yet. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just going to work it up just a little at a time. A little here, a little there. That way I hit every last little bit. Alright. We're just going to wipe that away. Now when it comes to cabochon cutting, yeah, I'll probably charge you for that. Because I've done cabochons for a long time and I feel like I do pretty good. But we do have some pretty cool stuff coming in for me to facet. Some Juniper Ridge Fire Opals coming in, which should be pretty fun to cut. And I think Laura's got some slabs for cabochon cutting for me. And then I can't remember what else. She's got something else for me. But yeah, so whenever they come in, we'll cut on those as well. In front of everyone. Alright, so we got that done. Excuse me. Let's do 50. And we're just going to cut on that 50. 50 with 50. Cut it down. And this girdle still might be too big, so we might have to come back and actually cut on it again. But my thinking behind this is that if it is too big, it's a good thing, because if that cheater is off by just a little bit, and I don't know it because it looks good right now, but if I don't know it and it's just a little bit off, it all accumulates at the end, right? So then I need to come back and straighten it up. And then when I straighten it up, then we have to recut it to get all of them straight. So that's why I'm kind of weary and leaving a little bit of growth room on there. Oh, hey Drew, how you doing, buddy? So that way, if we do mess up, we do have our way to come back, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So what I'm going to do now is actually a little unorthodox, but I'm going to do it. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to cut the rest of it down to be girdle size. So we know if we have to come back for those original 4 and recut them. Okay? And that's just part of it. I don't know about y'all, but I'm burning up sweating. Whew. It always seems like I get just sweaty at night. I don't even know what it is. So, let's see. 59. We need to do a 59. Alright. So, since we got to do 59, which is a larger, much larger, what's that, 60? Still, whatever. We have to move this up on the mast some. Yeah, it's 60. We got to move this up on the mast some. And then we have to lower this thing right here until we get to 60. Until we get to 60 on our little thing. And it's 60.50 on our degree angle. So I'm right 60 at 60.7. So I'm just lower it until I'm at 60.50, which I am. And you can see it here, right? That's 60.51, 50. and I always go one above, so whenever I actually place my finger on there, you see how just a little bit of pressure turns it at 50, so that way we have it on that 50. So what we're gonna do is, you see how high up that is? That's pretty high up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna center my mast again, right? And I'm gonna have to be very careful when I do this. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna switch it to the number I need it to be, which is 10 on this dial. So this is a 96 radial dial, right? And each number represents like an angle on the circular dial, right? And what we do is we follow that design with number 10, so forth, number 38, whatever. And the angle, right? Because each angle is going to leave a cut in different places, right? So think of it kind of like it's on a ball bearing. It's going to rotate like this, right? Or it's going to rotate like this, or like this, you know what I mean? So it's going to rotate around. So I get the gem to stay on, and you know, that's a good question. I get the gem to stay on, hopefully. That's a big hopefully, because they have popped off before. But the best technique I found was with Loctite 480. Loctite 480, it's got little rubber in there, so it's Loctite with rubber in it. And as you know, glue gets brittle as it dries, so that rubber can take the shock of the wheel constantly, right? And it doesn't get brittle and break off. The problem I've been having is with the Loctite 401, I believe, which I don't even know where it is here. It would get brittle and it wouldn't take the punishment of that vibration, and the stone would break off and we'd lose so much of the stone, right? So that's where kind of we are now. I've had it pop off a few times, but not as bad as what it used to, for sure. We're just going to lower this down little at a time. Just a little at a time, y'all. And while we lower it, you hear that? That means we made contact with the lap. So, and while we lower it so little at a time, it's because if you don't, it can slip and it'll just kick that stone up, and it'll, in a few seconds, it'll just ruin everything you've done. So it can be quite heartbreaking sometimes when that happens, for sure. Like, pretty upsetting. So now we can use our fine adjustment knob up here and adjust ourselves down to the height we need to be until we get it at a reasonable height that we determine matches the girl, which I think is what we're doing right now pretty well. And I'm trying to do crisscross for y'all so y'all can see as good as I can show you. Let's look at it again. And I do need to get one of those little magnifying glasses like the doctor has, so I can just whoop and put it down in front of the camera so y'all can see. And I do want to do a video of us cutting gemstones, so that way you can see that as well. And we can actually get close-ups on it with the camera itself, so you can move it around for sure. But yeah, I usually try not to cut on Sundays, but I was like, for everybody who was here Thursday, I want them to be able to see, you know, how it went, how it's going, things like that. So let's look at this. We need to go a little bit further down. A little bit further down. Not much, just a tiny bit. what we're looking at is with a 10 times magnifying glass. Right? What that 10 times does is it gives us that fine detail look. The sound is that sound of the actual stone grinding away. Yes. Yeah, I have hurt my hand before. It's kind of funny. I have sent a piece of stone into my finger before. I've ground part of my thumb skin away. And it's not like a major thing. It's like I'll just grind a piece of my thumb skin away, and then, you know, it'll bleed for a little while, and then, you know, over the next few days it toughens up and it'll grind away a little again after a while, and it's a normal thing that happens sometimes. And I've sent a piece of stone through my fingernail and into my pinky. I believe it was grape agate, and I was making a knife handle for my wife, and it broke off and went right into my pinky nail. And but other than that, I mean, I've been okay, other than like a knife clamping down on my hand or something like that whenever I'm grinding or something, or when I'm polishing it on the polishing wheels or something like that. You know, other than that, I've actually been pretty fortunate, you know. So I cut buck knives as well sometimes, and they'll like if it's an old buck knife or something like that and I'm refurbishing it, getting it brought back up to snuff, sometimes it'll clamp down on you and bite you a little bit. And that's kind of good for me to find out, because then I know, oh, this needs a new lock bar, or this needs a new spring, and I can get that and then fix it before somebody else gets it and it slams down on their hand. Laura, can you bring me one of the buck knives with the gemstone handles? Please, my darling. So what we're going to do is we're going to just lift that up a little bit. We're going to start cutting again. And either one, just put it in, or put both, I don't care, whatever you want to do. Can you play Fortnite? Like, what console do you have? I have, well, I play on PC. I play everything on PC. So I'm sure that PC plays Fortnite. I should be old, like the old man I am, and call it fork knife. So that's an amethyst handle right there for a buck knife, and then the other one. And the other one is, oh, you got it up there already. Mm-hmm. That's dendritic opal. And like I said, again, in the future, we do plan on doing like pistol grips and stuff like that. You know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Samurai swords would be pretty cool to do too. Thank you so much, Dream. Samurai swords would be cool to do too. Templar swords is another thing I thought would be pretty awesome to kind of try to hit at and try to do on. So, and I actually got in touch with an artist. And what I want to do is I want to like get like a Templar sword, like a broad claymore sword, and then get in touch with a CNC person that can do metal, and then have this person that's the artist draw up like the Siege of Antioch, right? And the cool story about the Siege of Antioch is when the Muslim army was outside of Antioch, I can't remember who led the army at the time, but there was like a very few Templars in the actual town of Antioch, right? And when they come, so these Templars, you know, these knights knew, they're like, dude, we're gonna die. So we might as well just charge out there, fight as long as we can, give everybody a chance they can to escape, because medieval sieges were hell on the people. And they're like, charge out there, fight them as hard as we can, give people a chance to escape, and then hopefully we can save people by doing that. Well, they charge out this thing, and the Christian and the Muslims accounts there were saying it was like angels swooped down behind the knights as they charged out on their horses out from the city gates and chased them from the field. And some people speculate that it was the armor of the knights glinting so much in the light that it blinded them and made them think that it. But you know what I mean? It's so cool that I want to get like some knights charging out of the city gates, and then just above the walls, kind of swooping down, is like an army of angels, and then kind of get that inlaid into a broadsword, and then get some synthetic different colored opals and inlay that in there and do that. That would be pretty cool. I got big hopes in the future, y'all. Big hopes. We just got to get there first. That's our thing. We got to get there first. Because you do something like that, you want people to see it, you know. Yeah, from my understanding, that's a true story. I watched it. Who was it? Was it Crusaders History or something like that on YouTube? I watched it on. But yeah, from my understanding, it's a true story. Yeah, I mean, it's just going to look cool. You know what I mean? And I would hope, and like with the samurai sword, I think a lot of people's heard this, but kamikaze means divine wind. And again, history is what history is, right? So I'm not going to pretend to know everything. But the Mongols, either the Mongols or the Chinese, were going to invade Japan during the samurai era. And the samurais were waiting on the shore, saw the boats come in, and then this typhoon come in and just wiped out the army that was going to invade by sea, just wiped them out, right? And that's where they got the thing called kamikaze, or divine wind, okay? So I think doing a samurai sword with something like that would be cool too, like have the typhoon and then the ships clashing together, and then have like a samurai in the foreground. And also, my wife's huge into anime. I don't watch it that much, but she loves it. So I was thinking like an anime style samurai sword would be cool, to where, like, you got veins in your arms, right? Like, take the veins in your arms and imagine it on the samurai sword. Now Dremel that out into the samurai sword and put black opal in there and make it look like the sword is corrupted. You know what I mean? Like it's almost infected with something. Would be really cool too. But these are all hopes I have for the future. And to be honest, if anybody's got any ideas and would like to put them forward, I would be more than happy to take the ideas and see what you got and see if it's even plausible for us to do. I'm sure there's a way to do something. You know what I mean? Yeah, something like that for sure. And so maybe do like a zombie style, pistol grip. You know what I mean? Like just a little bit of something and everything. And when I was in the Marine Corps, I was stationed at the 2nd Marine Division, and they have like a little museum there for the 2nd Marine Division. And one of the famous battles are the Battle of Tarawa. I'm sure if you've watched the stream before, you've heard about it, but I'm going to tell it again. The Japanese general said that it would take 1 million men in 100 years to take that island. Because the coral reef was so dense around the island, they thought the Higgins boats couldn't land there. So anybody who got there would have to literally cross the coral reef on foot or swim across it, and then they would take them out from there, the Marines out from there. right? So, well, we had the half-tracks, the Amtracks there, and they just went up and over the coral reef. So they didn't expect that would happen. And one of the Japanese soldiers turned to his commanding officer and said, "The gods of death have arrived." And another Japanese soldier account said it looked like a bunch of spiders were crawling up over the reef whenever the Marines got there. So I'm wanting to do just a little like replica 1911 pistol with mother of pearl grips on it, and then get like a quote on there, you know what I mean, and donate it to the Marine Corps Museum, the 2nd Marine Division. My little contribution to the Marine Corps, other than, you know, me serving, but, you know, like a cool thing they can put up in the museum there would be nice, you know. And if any of y'all are around Virginia, now I haven't been there, but I had a friend of mine. They went there to the Marine Corps Museum in Virginia, the big one, like the one for the whole history of the United States Marine Corps. And I can't remember what town in Virginia it is off the top of my head. But they say that that's a really, he told me it's a really cool museum, and I got to go there one time. And I would love to actually go there and take the wife and the baby. Pretty cool story, right, Dream? But I would love to take my wife and our baby there and kind of show them the history of the Marine Corps, because my uncle was in the Marine Corps during Vietnam, and my grandfather was in the Marine Corps during the Korean War. So, you know, it's kind of in the history, in the blood. And I just like to go back and kind of see what they experienced, and gives you more appreciation for them, you know. We're getting there, y'all. We're actually getting there. And you know what is really surprising me? We're not having a lot of deviations. Now, we'll see when we get to the last two facets, or I believe the last two facets, we'll probably see how much actual deviation we have. But I don't see a lot so far. Right? But the deviations could be a micrometer off. And then you don't see it, right? And then you're working, you're like, oh yeah, this looks awesome. And then as soon as you hit it, you're like, oh God. You know what I mean? So we'll see when we get there. But for right now, I'm getting a warm and fuzzy about it. You know what I mean? I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty happy. And me and my wife is looking into making a Discord. Or, you know, not me and my wife, but I mean mainly, you know, me, but looking into making a Discord so people who are like talented in hobbies and stuff like that, it's going to be mainly about the channel and faceting and lapidary and stuff like that, and where people can share ideas and things like that. But we can also, you know, hang out and chill with people and just talk and get ideas from people would be cool. So I just need to find out how to do it to where it's responsibly done. You know what I mean? Because I cannot monitor a Discord 24/7. So I would have to have somebody that could monitor it and make sure, you know, I don't want to stop people from saying what they want to say, even if it's bad stuff about us. Play games too, maybe. You know what's funny? I was actually thinking about that. Maybe making a separate channel to play some video games, and also maybe do some D&D campaigns as well. I'm trying to get some people to do D&D. I know my sister will do it. I know Laura will do it, but you need more than that. You know what I mean? You need quite a few people to play. So that's kind of like the goal right now. But yeah, I'm thinking about. I have been thinking about making a separate channel and doing that. I think it might be fun. I don't know how many people will watch me play video games, but it might be fun for me. So this is where I was talking about. I feel like we may be running into a snag here real quick. We're going to keep working it down, but I hope we're doing okay. And a funny thing is I love and hate horror games. I hate horror games because they give me nightmares. And, you know, I take like melatonin to help me sleep, so the nightmares get pretty convincing pretty quickly. But I love them because I love the like fear. You know what I mean? I love getting scared. But I hate this one trope about video games recently, and it's where there's an invincible enemy that's always chasing you, and you can't do nothing about it. I hate that because that feels like it's rushing me through the level. And when it rushes me through the level, I don't get to explore. I don't get to look around. I don't get to really take in that atmosphere. And especially if they've done a good job with the game, and you can kind of look around and you go, try playing Fortnite? Okay. I mean, I can always try. But if they've done beautiful with the environment, I know, and it's not that it's necessarily scary. It takes me out of it. I'm like, I want to see all the detail you put in this level. Please do not make me have to run around it. You know what I mean? Let me look. Let me enjoy it. Now, some developers do it because they can't really put a lot into it, or it's a way to make it scary. I get that. But still, you know, like, if you've done really good, yeah, I know. I do get quite frightened every now and then too. But if you've done a good job, please let me be afraid of just the ambience of it. You know what I mean? But yeah, we want to do some D&D as well. I want to do some D&D and maybe put it up on there because I think people would like the stories that I come up with, or at least I hope they would. Alright, now I need to check this, because what's worrisome about this is that the glue run down over part of the girdle, so I can't really necessarily tell where that girdle ends, but we'll see. We will most definitely see. Let's see, we got 76. So now we need to drop down in our angle and start at 19. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put our 19 on the dial so we don't accidentally overcut one of our previous cuts. And we're just going to put 59.20. And for these micro adjustments, we can just use this little knob here for the angle. I am going to have to lift this up some. So let's lift it up. Now we got to put it back down. Put it back down slowly, slowly, slowly. Just barely. There we go. And it's funny, you can ask my sister, or I mean, I guess you can't, but still. My sister would know. Whenever I was a little boy, what was it? Are You Afraid of the... Not Are You Afraid of the Dark. What's the other one? With the skeleton that pops out of the coffin at the beginning. Maybe it is Are You Afraid of the Dark. Well, nevertheless, watching the show, I'll be fine. It could be some of the scariest thing you ever saw, right? Ain't nothing wrong with that, my friend. You know, that's what makes gaming fun, though. The Crypt Keeper. That's it. The Crypt Keeper. That's it. That thing would scare the bejesus out of me. I'm telling you that I'd watch the whole show. Watch the whole show, be fine. But when that intro comes in and and it was running through that little maze all the way up to the house, I'd be sitting there and I'd be shaking because I know he's about to come out. But I'm going to sit there and I'm going to get through it. I swear. I'm going to do it. Tales from the Crypt. That's it. And I'd sit there and I'd be shaking. I'd be like this. I'd be like, as a kid, but I'm going to get through it, man. I'm telling you, I'm going to watch it this time. I ain't going to jump. I ain't going to run. And I'm telling you, as soon as that coffin hit, as soon as that coffin opened, my feet be like Scooby-Doo in the middle of the air, taking off for another room. And as soon as that was done, I'd come walking back in, watching the rest of the show. But for some reason, that thing popping out that crypt would scare the daylights out of me. Scared the daylights out of me. But good show though. It was a good show. The only old show that ever got me like that was Pet Cemetery. That was a bad one too. Pet Cemetery was terrible. Was terrible to watch, man. Oh. Osiris, I think we're showing our age. But you know what's funny too? I used to get scared of the old Resident Evil games. The like tank controls where the person's in the middle of the screen, you have to turn them each individual way. Resident Evil 2. Kendo's gun shop. As soon as you crossed into Kendo's gun shop, I knew what was going to happen because I watched my dad play. I would watch him play. And he'd go, "Oh, you're not one of them zombies. Thanks God." He goes to lock that door. And I'd be like, "Kendo, please don't lock that door. Don't get near it this time." Even though he's programmed, I'd be like, "Please don't get near that window." And them zombies would bust through that window and eat him. I would pause it, put the controller down. I'd be done for today. That was all I had to do. I was that scared of that. And I would run and go get somebody to finish that part until they got into the police station. And then I'd be like, "Okay, I can get it from here." And now, love playing Resident Evil games. Love them. I know, right, Tree? I was a big old scaredy cat when I was a kid, man. I was ready to run for. Look, anything I can't shoot and be done with it scares the daylights out of me. You know what I mean? So zombies that won't go down with a gun, nope, I'm done. Don't do that to me. And then demons, ghosts, spookies, that scares me. Now if it's something I can take down with a pistol or rifle, okay. Alright, cool. But anything other than that scares the daylights out of me. Looks like we're getting there. Looks like we're getting there, y'all. And it looks like we're doing okay. I am kind of nervous because that one side did seem a little bigger, but not much. But that could be my eyes for all I know. You know what I mean? My eyes playing tricks on me. Well, I guess we're about to hit the moment of truth, y'all. Here it comes. We're going to be hitting that moment of truth soon. I got to lower it down some more. Which this is the oval. So this is the first, oval I've cut. And ovals are, at least in my opinion, they're pretty hard. From what I've seen and talked to people, they consider them pretty hard to do. So, we'll see. But I'm hoping we hit this just right for our first oval facet. Oh, come on. Sorry, I gotta pay close attention to this. All right, just a little touch. A little touch is all you need. A little touch more. There we go. Pop that off. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to brag just yet, but I think we did it. I do not want to brag just yet, but I think we're there. Oh. All right, now we got to do the other side. As long as the other side's good, we can start polishing and moving on with these facets here. We can just get the cuts out, do the polish in, and then move on. I'm actually, you know how stressed this makes me? The AC's on 68 and I'm still sweating. Because this is a beautiful amethyst and I would hate for it to turn out, to be messed up in some way. Especially after all this effort. So I'm kind of nervous. Because before this, we did the pavilion. The pavilion took me about, I did some on live stream, but then I did some more off live stream. I think all together it took me like 4.5 hours to do the pavilion, which is the bottom part. And I'll show you here in a minute what a pavilion is. So that's why we need to make sure we're good. But yeah, I have thought about maybe doing a little gameplay channel, but another thing is I don't know if I have good things to say during gaming. You know what I mean? There's a lot of better voices out there than me with Let's Plays and stuff like that. I don't know if y'all are familiar with this group, but they're called Neebs Gaming. I like watching them with my wife. Here and there. I haven't been watching much because I've been watching Legends of Adventures, the D&D stuff, which has got me back into wanting to do a D&D again. So, another good channel, kind of keep your eye out on. Let's see, we're just checking everything out. Making sure everything's going according to plan. These are our last two when it comes to actually cutting them into the stone. Which is why, again, it makes me nervous. You wouldn't assume it takes this much to cut these gemstones for people's rings and stuff like that, would you? But it does. It takes a lot of time and a lot of patience. Now there are machines out there that are automated and will do it. The problem with those is that these laps wear down, right? Or the stone pops off the top, and they'll just keep grinding, right? So they can either mess up the stone, do a bad job, or the stone pops off and you come back 2-3 hours later and the stone's off. You know what I mean? Plus, I think people like it more when you actually do it yourself. You know? And I think that's what a lot of people are missing nowadays, is that do-it-yourself attitude kind of thing. You know? because it really can surprise you what you can do. You can ask my family, I was never like the artistic type. I was never that. I drew stick figures, you know. Growing up where we grew up, stones were not different colors; they were just white stones. You know what I mean? So kind of crazy to see, you know, that stuff now become what it is. So we are off. See, and that's why that with that last one. But we are off, but we're not off, I don't think, because of angle as much as depth. And depth's easy to cure. That's what I think too. So I think too. Automation's for mass production, and I know not everybody can afford handcrafted everything, right? But you know, I think handcrafted's not bad, you know. I just think automation's for, like, if it's not something important, automation, okay. Like a wedding ring, like an engagement ring, you know what I'm saying? But I also know that that helps people out in a bind. It makes things cheaper for them. So I'm not so either or on it. I get one or the other. But, you know, handcrafted, you get something like that done handcrafted, and you're going to pay for it. You know what I mean? So, what it is this is depth and not necessarily an error. Or at least, Lord, I hope it is. It is one of those things, which is good but also bad, right? The good thing is that it's just lowering it down. The bad thing is that if I lower it down and it's still cattywampus like this, then that means something's gone wrong, right? But we shall see. I need to lower it down just a little bit more. So we need to line that up with the goidle. Which is fine, because then from there on out, am I Trump or Harris? Well, I don't get into politics on here, so I won't tell you that. I don't get into politics on here, but I do get into politics in my daily life. But I won't get into politics on here. Just because I want it to be a channel for people to learn on and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Let's see. So we got 77. Now we'd have to move back. The problem with moving back is this is where it gets hairy. If I move back, this is why sometimes I wish it was just all one row in depth. You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to be, I don't think. And then that's where it makes it more difficult. But I mean, it's an oval. I don't think it's meant to be easy. You know? It's got me nervous. It's got me real nervous. I ain't gonna lie. Like really, really nervous. so we're at 77. Everybody help me remember that. We're gonna have to work backwards. I think the next one is 67. My heart is pumping in my chest right now. It's that bad, y'all. And I know y'all are probably thinking, stop being such a wuss about it. I can't. Because we're so close. No means to be sorry, my friend. No means to be sorry at all. Like I said, in my daily life, I would talk about it a lot. But, you know, it's just it's a learning channel for people. So I don't want to turn anybody off from lapidary, to be honest. You know, or learning. So, no need for you to be sorry. 77, next one. 66. No, next one's 67, but keep that in mind. 67. Thank you for the 77. Alright, so we're getting it. Again, I'm still a little scared. And the funny thing is that I'm kind of like, I know it sounds stupid, but I am kind of trembling a little bit. Because I do see a deviation now. So that means I got to run this cheater back just a little bit. And see if that helps level it out. Because we don't want an even. Yeah. Yep. That's our problem. So I have to run this cheater back. It's probably going to be like at a 0.1. 0 full 0.1. So we're going to work that back and see if that's our one. We're not going to say that's our one yet. We're just going to see. Nope, that's not it just yet. So maybe 0 back 0.15. Let's work that out and see if that's. We're going to lower it down just a little bit. Give it that cutting room. I think we may be getting there. So this is where it gets tense because of that cheater I mentioned. That cheater does micro movements in between the dials. And whenever you... we might have to move it back just a little bit more. Again, let's look at this. It's looking all right though. We may have to run the cheater around the whole thing, to be honest, just to make sure we got it. We may have to run the whole cheater around, which is okay. All right, so we got 67. So 67. What's the next one? 58. 58's the next one, but we have to move the angle to 60.5. So 68, but angle 60.5. Oh, I'm sorry, 58, angle 60.5. So I could write that down. 58, angle 60.5. I'll go ahead and put the angle of 60.5 in. And then I'll look back for y'all for the 60, whatever it is. I'm glad having y'all in here. Sweet. 58. 58's next. 60.5. Alright, so let's go ahead and rotate to our 58. 60.5. Alright, it's sitting just above. I wonder if I can lower it down. No, it's not gonna have enough reach on it. So let's move this down. I'm gonna keep my hand like this as a guide. So we'll move it down too far. Right there. You hear that? That's what we needed. Alright. Alright, so let's go ahead. Rotate that down. Rotate that down. Here we go. Here we go, y'all. And what we're doing is we're just making that girdle really thin. making that girl really thin, but I told you we're going to, because I told you that's why we started thick on the girdle, so we could thin it out if there was any problems like this, right? So we have to, I don't want to say we have to predict the future, but we have to be prepared for the future, you know what I mean? Alright, Dream, can you do me a favor? The next one's gonna be 50. Index number 50, angle 62.74. Remind me of that, Dream. Osiris, your next number, buddy, is going to be, let's look at this to make sure I'm getting it right. It's going to be 46 on the index, angle 62.74. We got this, y'all. We'll do this. Uh, 50 angle, say again. Okay. So index is 50, angle is 62.74. We're getting there. Y'all, we're getting there. We're getting there. This is going to happen. This is going to happen for real. We're going to get this done. We may just get the first sets, these first 3 sets of facets done on the crown. But y'all got my blood pumping now. Y'all got me ready to rock and roll. So who knows? My adrenaline's pumping. My back ain't hurting so bad. We may get through the whole thing tonight. The only bad problem about getting it all through tonight is I can't show you on live stream the whole finished product because we have to take it off of the glue and that has to sit in acetone. So that's the only bad part. But that means I can put a short out tomorrow though of it being done and we can get a close-up on it. So kind of cool, kind of bad. Okay. Alright, and what I'll do is Dream and Osiris, I'll give y'all, if we get this all done tonight, I will give y'all a shout out tomorrow on the short as a thank you for helping me keep track of everything, because it's a lot better help, it's a lot more help than y'all know what y'all are doing for me. It's a lot more than what y'all can think of right now, that the help you're doing, because I have trouble reading the diagrams sometimes and my eyes will just blur the numbers and they'll kind of cross up with each other. So this is more help than you can possibly imagine. Here we go, y'all. Here we go, y'all. We're going to move to the next one. And the next one is 50, 64, 74, or 62, 74. Okay, 50. So we'll do 50. And what we're doing is we're just working our way back until everything's nice and even, right? But we need to move this, right? Yep, we're just going to move this. So, that's actually, let's do it like this. This will be a lot easier. Just use that little knob up there. There we go. 62, 74, 50. Alright. I'm going to have to work this back just a little bit. There we go. Again, hand underneath. Alright, I'm going to check my index dial real quick again. We're at 50, so we know we're at 50. We're good there. Alright, loosen it up, and we're going to lower it until we hear that grinding again, okay? No problem, Dream. We're going to lower it again. You hear that? We've hit it. We've hit that angle. Alright, I'm going to check and make sure that that's giving us a good clean line. So far it is, good clean line. We're on 50, 64, 62, 74. I know this sounds a lot more dramatic than what it is, but I'm telling you right now, like, Noel's saying as I can see my wallet flash before my eyes, I'm telling you, it gets a little nerve-wracking, and whenever it's like, oh, we're doing great. Let's not mess this up. That's right. Make a shirt with that on there. Sounds like you're calling a cat, don't it? All right, here we go. We're getting it. We're getting it, y'all. This is it. This is it. We're doing good. All right, so we did 50. We're doing 60 or 46 next. We need, so index number 30, angle 60.50. Write that down. Index number 30, angle 60.50. All right, we're going to lower it just a little bit more. Lower it just a little bit more. Just get that. Get that all nice and even. The spray bottle. Well, you know, it uses water. I don't know if you can see it dripping, but it does use water, so. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. Last little bit on this facet right here. Or at least I'm hoping. Alright. The glue's holding up good too, so that's another relief. There we go. Alright. So our next number is, we just did 50, so it's index number 60 or 46, 62, 74. So we're already at that. So 46. All right. So let's go ahead and do that one. We're gonna lift up and lower it down. Lift up, lower it down. We're just gonna work our way. Oh boy. That one's actually pretty quick. Okay. So so yeah, I mean, it's basically got its own squirt bottle in. Alright, so we're lowering it down pretty good. Let's see. Which one was I just on? I was just on 46. The next one's 30. Right? No. 46. Osiris, I may have told you that wrong. I think the index number is 38. And then the angle is 60.50. So index number is 38. And then the next one after that, index number is 29. And then angle, right, is 59.20. So 59.20. Index number 29. Yep. All right, cool. Oh boy. And this is razor thin. So whatever happens now, if it's a little canted, I'm just gonna have to work it in. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to work it in, but it's razor thin right now, so we can't even lose more girdle than what we're losing. It just gets that dramatic that quick, man. I'm talking to y'all, but I'm also talking to myself. Let's see. 45, or no, 46. We're on 46. So the next one's 38. And that's a 60.50. So we'll go ahead and do. No problem. hey, just having y'all in here helping me out is a blessing enough. I mean, I'm not even exaggerating. I need it. Let's see. All right. 60. All right. 60, 50, 38. So we're going to run that up. I'll just try to do it like this. There we go. 60, 50. And we're just going to lower it slowly. We're getting there, y'all. Trust me, slowly but surely, we are getting there. We are getting there, y'all. See, and when I tell y'all that fasting is fun, it's fun, but it's also nerve-wracking. I mean, you know, when you've worked this hard on something, and you know, the piece of rough alone may have cost you, well, I mean, there's some expensive pieces of rough out there. There's some that's like, golly, you know. So rough is the stone uncut. There's some pieces out there that are like $500 uncut. There's some as low as maybe $10, $20, which for me is a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like $10 to $20 is a meal, you know what I mean? So, and then there's some that's, I've seen pieces of rough that are like $2,000. Some Alexandrite, I think those go for like facet quality, good cut quality. I think those go for like $10,000 for a piece of rough, or something like that. 10 or 5, I can't remember. And it's like, golly. So, this right here is Uruguayan amethyst. So it's not that much of expensive rough, if you get my drift. But for amethyst, this is pretty expensive. This is pretty good stuff to cut. All right, so we had 39 or 38, sorry. And then the next one is 29. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. The one after 29 is 19 on the index wheel. Angle is 59.20. Okay? Everybody good on that? 59.20. Make sure I'm not running it off the track. Alright. 19, angle 59.20. Roger Dodger. Alright. So I'm keeping y'all one ahead of me so it's easier for me to keep track that way. So we were at 38. We're going to 29. And we're doing 59.20. Let me lower that just a little smidge. And then the one y'all just put down is the one I'm going to move to next. So this kind of helps me, you know. So this one, I'm actually going to have to go like this. And I'm actually going to have to lift up because it is just that far down on an angle compared. Whew. All right. So we're going to have to lift this up. Turn this over. There we go. Alright, and then we're going to have to lower it down casually, very slowly. Alright, there we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's check it. Move it down. And gentlemen, I think we're doing it. I think we're making them meet. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Yep. Alright, we're moving it down just a little bit more. Starting to level that out some. Here we go. Alright. I don't think we need to move to the next one. I think we do need to move to the next one just a little bit. But not much. Not much. Alright. So we do need to move to the next one. Just a little bit, not much. Alright. So the next one's 19, correct? 19. Sorry, I'm lagging behind on telling you on the numbers too. So the next one will be 10 on the index, angle 60.50. We're going to raise this back up a little bit. Alright, let's look. So this one doesn't need to be cut a lot, right? Doesn't need to be cut a lot at all. This one just needs to be dropped down a little bit. And if it holds its pattern, it is suspenseful, isn't it? If it holds its pattern, then guess what? If it holds its pattern, we're done. We're done if it holds its pattern, y'all. For real. I'm not even messing with y'all. Then we can move with the scratch removal. Then we go to the polish and everything like that. And we can move on, man. I'm getting excited. I'm actually getting pumped up right now. Like, I know this sounds like hype, but I'm being honest with y'all. Since I got y'all in here, I'm actually getting legitimately pumped. We need to move just a little bit down. Just a little bit. A micro of a millimeter and we'll be even, y'all. For real. Alright, let's look. See there? Just a little bit more. Only thing we need is just a little bit more. And you wouldn't even be able to see it with your eye. But again, if we see it, it's got to be fixed. If we see it, it's got to be fixed, y'all. Alright, I'm looking. I think everything's lining up, it looks. It's all lined up. The girdle's lined up with the lines for the facets. Let's look. Make sure the girdle's lined. It's a little high on the left end. A little high on the left end. There we go. Just another little push. And I'm even just going to push it down a little harder on the left side of the stone so it cuts it that way. Not even make a mechanical adjustment on it. Oh, I need a light. Because this is like fine tuning it right now. This is like fine tuning this thing. Just a little. I'm sweating for real. Alright, just a little to the left. Just a little more to the left. So we're going to go 0 turn 0.25. Let's see how that cuts. 0 turn 0.25. It's literally surgery on a gemstone, for real. Alright. 0 turn 0.25. Let's see if that evens it out. It's raised it up on one end, which is what we needed it. And it's lowered it on the other end. Boys, I think we did it. I think we did it. We did it. We got it, boys. We got it. Holy cow. We have literally worked around this entire gemstone to as about as perfect as you can get it. We did it. Oh, I wouldn't be able to do it without y'all, to be honest. I wouldn't be able to do it without y'all, because having to go back and read those numbers, I'd have messed it up. We did it. We did it. Now the only thing we got to do is do the scratch removal. So we can just keep that angle. Not the angle. We can just keep that little cheater dial to where it is. We can keep it to where it is. But we can just work on everything, and we're going to move forward, and we're just going to work our way forward throughout the different angles. We're going to do that. We're going to do a pre-polish, our final polish, and then C1 through C3 is done. But here's where it gets tense. Here's where it gets a little nerve-wracking. We still need to go through C4 to C8 and then do the table. So we may have to hit C4 through C8 tomorrow during the night. But I kind of want to get it done tonight. All right, put down in chat. No, we're not done yet. Put down in chat. Should we finish this tonight? Should we finish it all tonight? Go for the gold? Or are we going to hit this up and finish it up tomorrow after we finish C1 through C3? Let me go ahead and change the plates. 1, for finish it tonight. 2, finish it up tomorrow for good. Right now I'm pumped up. Right now, yeah, for real. I ain't kidding with you. 2? Okay, we got a bunch of 2s. So what we'll do is we'll finish C1, C2, and C3 tonight, and we'll go and finish it up tomorrow for sure. So that means the reveal fasting video is going to have to come later. And let's see. Are we getting this done tomorrow, y'all? For real. We getting this done tomorrow. For real. 2. Bunch of twos. All right. So, 1 or 2. Do y'all want to watch me finish doing the scratch removal to the polishing? Because I'm going to do that tonight. Whether y'all watch or not, I'm going to have to do that tonight. So, do the scratch removal and polishing through the C1, C2. Finish that tonight with y'all on live stream. Or 2, finish that up off live stream. And we pick up on C4. Live stream tomorrow. Your dog votes 2. Well, I can't argue with the dog. You'll wait? Okay. Alright, so I think that's 1 for 2. If I'm correct. Or you'll wait on stream. I don't know. You'll watch it if the stream's up. Okay. Alright. Let me pour some more water in here. Alright, here we go. And it's just, we don't have to do much here, right? So this is where it kind of gets a little easier. I'm still going to need y'all for the checks and everything like that, right? So I'm going to need y'all to keep me on track when it comes to the dial and everything. But other than that, we're doing pretty good. And this is where that's going to get a little hairy. All right, let's see, 62.74. There we go. Number 2. All right, we're just going to lower it down. Make sure it touches. There we go, touches. Then I'm going to lift it back up like this. Turn that water on. Here we go, y'all. And we're going to turn that on. We're going to get to going. Alright, here we go. We're just going to lower that down. There we go. There we go, y'all. And what we're doing is we're just polishing up, or we're doing scratch removal right now on the facets we've already done. And we don't need to do anything crazy. Right? Nothing crazy, just gentle scratch removal. That's why I was like, okay, if y'all want to not watch, you don't have to. Because the absolutely stress-inducing part is that rough piece that cuts away like a ton of stone. Because that's when you're like, if you screw up, you've screwed up big time. But now, since we've got the girdle width good, I'm telling y'all, the rest is going to be kind of okay until we get to the table. The table's the big thing. Like, the table's where you make or break the stone. It is kind of fun. It is kind of fun. Hey, y'all voted tomorrow? Okay, I'll forgive you. Oh, yeah, I do. I do know. I still have to do C1 through C3 on the 1200 grit disc and on the 8000 and the 50,000, right? So we still have to do that tonight, no matter what. Got to get done tonight. Because if I don't, I'll lose my guides, and that's it. I won't be able to remember. So we start fresh tomorrow with the C4, C5, C6, C7, C8, and table. But those should go by relatively quickly compared to all the other ones. I pray. They should, though. All right, so what are we at now? We're at index 10, angle 60.5. 50. And then the next one is index 19, angle 59.20. So 19. C4, did I say C4? Oh yeah, I did say C4, didn't I? C4, so C4 is a line. So C4 stands for crown cut 4, or facet cuts 4, right? So, yep, index 19. Yep, you're already ahead of me on that, so good job. And then what I may do is on future live streams, when I'm not cutting out of a book, or when we get the Discord up, I may post an image of the actual diagram and everything like that for there, so y'all can kind of look at it too and help me keep track of that diagram as I'm cutting, so y'all can be one step ahead of me at all times. And then for the ones where I get offline, I'll send y'all the link, so if y'all want to look at it while we're doing this, that way we can kind of get everything done there too. I think that might work for everybody if y'all would be into that. Alright, so where am I at now? 10. I'm on 10 right now. 60.5. 59.20. 19 is the next one. You've already got that one down. So the next one after that is index 29. Angle 59.20. I have to put my finger on it to know I actually got it. You know what I mean? I'm far off. Oh, I need to lift it. I apologize, everybody. I need to lift it. See, it's just that easy to forget. I got hyped up. I got into it. All right, here we go. We'll just remove those little tiny ones. That's all right. It's towards the top. So towards the top, we can work that out. Yeah, so that way you can follow along. We can work on this together. There's no, am I doing this right? We're doing 10, right? 02, 10. Yeah, okay. 02, 10. So we're moving to 10. I don't know if y'all can see it, but we're cutting it. We're doing it. We're getting it done. I might have to move back one. I might have to move back one, y'all. I might have to move back to the 02. The 02, I think. But that's okay. It's alright. We'll get back there. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. We'll finish that up. Yep. Alright, O2. Gotta hit that O2 up again because I got excited, looked at the wrong facet, thought I was done. I mean, it do happen sometimes. It do be like that sometimes. So, as they say, it do be like that. Alright. Just keep in mind, everybody keep in mind, we already did 60.5 angle, index 10. Alright, that's done. That's done. Doesn't need to be touched up again, except with the 8 and the 50. But on this lap, done. I'm going to have to move this down. I know y'all can't see it right now, but guess what? This amethyst is already so clean and nice as is that the purple is starting to shine on that blue disc as I lower it down on the table. That's how clean it already is. So that's good indication that this is going to be a really good stone once it's all finished. We're doing it, y'all. We're doing it. We're taking it. We're going to lower it a little bit more. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got it. We got it, baby. We got it. Alright, so next one's going to be 19. The one we just did, or the one I'm moving to now is 19. I've already gave you 29, right? So the next one I need you to put after 29 is 38 on index gear, 60.5. Okay? 38 index gear, 60.5. Whew. Let me go to 29 though. We're on 29. Or is it 19? I need to go to 19. I need to go to 19 next. Okay. 59. 59.20. 59.20. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Alright, here we go. Alright. Index gear, I think I said 38. Correct me if I'm wrong. 38. Yep. 38. Alright, the index gear I'm on right now is 19. Right? So I'm hitting that 19 right now with an angle of 59.20. Lowering it down, y'all. We're getting it down. Just until we hear it. There we go. Just a little bit of noise. That's all we need. We're just gonna lower that. There we go. There we go. Alright. And it doesn't need to be much. Right? We're just doing scratch removal. Oh, this is clean, y'all. This is clean. I mean, ridiculously clean. Ridiculously clean. 59. I'm gonna move it up just a little bit. 59, 20. 59, 20. We got it. We're doing it. There we go. 59, 20. 59, 20. Yeah. I feel like we're doing really good. I ain't gonna lie. I'm getting excited because of it. We just need to get that top, to get that scratch removal out. Because some of these, like a lot of this top piece is going to be recut again. Because we're going to have to make little subcuts within it. Right? But I still want it to look clean until that happens. Alright. I just done 19. I just done 19. So we're moving to index gear 29 now. Angle 59.20. 29. 59.20. Alright. And then you got index gear 38, angle 60.50. So the next one will be index gear 46, angle 62.74. Angle 62.74. Here we go. There we go. All right, good job. Good job. Awesome. Awesome. By the way, hit us up with some likes and stuff like that, man. I appreciate it if you can. We're doing so well, to be honest. Oh God, this amethyst is looking good. Like I hate talking so good about it, because if it pops off the top and ruins it, I'm gonna be so heartbroken over this thing. You know what I mean? But it does look extremely good. Like extremely good. Let me get that top piece. Let me get that top piece done. One like for one cheeseburger. Man, we had Burger King today. I get a double Whopper. And I just want cheese on my burger. That's all I need is cheese. You know, I'm a very simple guy, right? I just need a little bit of cheese. I get one piece of cheese for a double Whopper. One piece. I'm so upset. Who just puts one piece? Alright, just give me more than one piece. It ain't like they're in that bad of trouble they can't spare an extra piece for a burger. I'm telling you. Disgusting. Disgusting. Alright. Alright, 60.50 is what I'm moving to now. And we're at 38. Index 38, 60.50. So that means the last one we ended on with Osiris and Dream was index 46, angle 62.74. So the next one I need to direct y'all to is index 50, angle 62.74. You know, I don't need much. I don't need mayonnaise. I don't need ketchup. None of that stuff. If your food's good without having to put all this extra stuff on it, good. But the components of a cheeseburger is that it has cheese on it. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to raise this up. We're going to raise this up. Alright, here we go. We're going to raise this up. We got, so I'm on right now, just to give y'all, to keep y'all on track with me. I'm on index gear 38 right now. Sit at angle 60.50. We're going to lower it down. Golly. That purple is shining really good on that blue lap too. To the point I'm thinking this is, if we can keep it the way it is, this is going to look magnificent. And I don't use big words like that often. Here we go. Here we go. We're touching it up. We're getting all these scratches out of it. I just need to get a scratch out that lower left hand side. Juicy burger, patty, cheese, bacon, ketchup, lightly toasted bun, best burger. I hit the like button. You can owe me a burger. Okay. I'll owe you a burger. How about that? Let's see. You know, if we do well enough, I might even just do a giveaway Not on this, obviously. I'm not going to give this one away. But we may do a giveaway on a knife or something like that. Or, you know, a pendant or something. Just do something to do a giveaway. Because this stream's been pretty good. Like our last stream we had, I think we had more people watching concurrently, but this stream's been more fun, for real. Alright, so the next one we're moving to, we got 38 done. We're moving to 46, right? And then we're doing 62.74. So we're going to run that up, 62.74. We'll put it to 75 so that way I can push down. A burger giveaway. Well, if I have a feeling that some of y'all are across the seas from America, I don't think that burger's going to last that trip. Just being honest. Let's see. Alright, so we're going to raise this up to lower it back down. Just a little. Just a little. That's all we need. A little bit. You sure it would make it over there? I'm sure it would too, but it probably still wouldn't be good when it made it to you. Who wants a Who wants a moldy burger? Sometimes I feel like that guy on those Adam Sandler movies. The guy that always talks southern gibberish. Not the dog would eat it. For sure he would. For sure he would. I think he would. Our dog ate a tennis ball while we were gone yesterday, I believe. Ate a tennis ball, been throwing up tennis ball all day today. And, you know, when she was a puppy, and we'd leave her and she'd eat things, we'd get all freaked out. Now we don't anymore. It's just, she's gonna throw it up. She's eating some crazy things. So now we're just like, she's gonna throw it up, so we don't have to worry about it. She sure did today, threw every last bit of it up. I'm telling you, it's just weird what a dog can do. Alright, so where were we at last time? I think we were at 50, the last one I gave you. Alright, so I'm about to give you 2 in a row, okay? Osiris or Dream, I'm about to give you 2 in a row. Index is 58, angle 60.50. Index 58, angle 60.50. I'll wait for one of y'all to put it down. Oh, crap. Alright, I'll wait for one of y'all to put it down so I can... index 58, angle 60.50. Alright. Then the next index is 67, angle 59.20. Alright, cool. We got it. Yep, for both of you. I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Laudanum. You know I can't pronounce that name right. I can't even pronounce my own. Laudanum. Sorry, I have to drop. I will be watching the rest tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Good night. Good night, Mama Source. Good night. Alright, so let's see, what are we doing? See, I get that easily distracted. Oh, I was doing 50. I was doing index number 50. Okay, just looking at it. Everything looks good on 50. So we're going to move to 58. We're going to move to 58 and 60.50. So I need to lower this back down. 60.50. We'll do do 60.51. All right. And then, all right, gentlemen. Next index number, 77. Angle 59.20. Index number 77. Angle 59.20. Sweet. Sweet. Looking good, looking good. We're getting there. I'm gonna have to build up like a reliable group of people like y'all. So whenever we do the live stream, if somebody's trying to mess with us, I can always just look back on y'all stuff. Alright, we're lowering it. We're lowering it. That way we don't turn like a beautiful, beautiful stone into something that's not going to look good when it's done. Alright. It's that simple with y'all, man. It's that simple with y'all. It really does go by so quickly with y'all. This I would be going, like this one little plate here would take me like 45 minutes to an hour. With y'all, we're just moving through it. We're moving through it. Oh yeah. I think tomorrow we'll get the whole gemstone done. We'll probably start a little earlier than 8. Probably like 6, so we can get it all done. Because I'm worried that it will take a little while. Because tomorrow's gonna be fine tuning. For real. Alright, so we're moving to 67 right now. I'm moving my dial to 67. So that means I gotta move it all up one more. So let's do 67, 59, 59.20. Alright, 67, 59.20. I just did mine. Alright, so we need to do 68, index number 68 for y'all. Angle 60.50. I'll repeat. Index number 86. Angle 60.50. Well, he's probably gassing you out right now, man. Oh. Yep. Lower it down. Lower it down. 59, 20. There we go. We got it touching. Gentlemen, we're doing it. Wait. I'm sorry. That's my bad. 86. 60.50. Index number 86. Angle 60.50. Okay. Yep. Thank you for letting me know. This is why I'm telling y'all, because I jump around like crazy. Index number 86, angle 60.50. All right. This is why I got y'all. Y'all keep me on track. All right, here we go. We need to raise the angle just a little bit. Get that top piece cut. And I know I'm definitely going to need y'all after the Lord gives birth, because yeah, y'all are actually helping legitimately after the Lord gives birth, because no, it didn't. No, it didn't. It came off. It came off. Boys, we're done. We're done for. Oh no. Wait a minute. Quit blame the dog. Yeah. Wait a minute. We could fix this. I can put it back in the angle, I think. Let's try to work this out. Let's try to work this out. Let's try to fix this before we call it quits. Fix this. There we go. There we go. I don't know what happened. It's like the rag just took it right off of there. But I know what I'm going to do. So we got it in there, right? We got it in there. Very simply, what we're going to do is we're going to take some of this glue right here. Okay? We're just going to keep it, try to keep it in place as much as we can. Put glue in that little cup right there. Okay? We'll try to put our glue in there. This is where it's going to get tricky quick. Alright. Quick accelerator. Pushing down on the glue. So this is probably going to burn my finger all the crap, but we got to save this stone. It's probably going to burn it. It does burn. It does burn. It does burn a lot. But it's doing its job. No, not gonna mess up the wheel. Shouldn't. It just, the glue, it accelerates the glue to dry, but what it does is it kind of like burns the glue on to it, and then any glue that's on you tends to, any residue as well tends to get you a little bit. All right, let's do this. Oh man, but we were doing so well that it was kind of like, and I told you that's the one thing that can mess us up right there. The one thing. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put it back down, and we're gonna see if it maintained its angle. I'll put it right back in its pocket, so maybe it can. That does not sound great. That does not sound great at all. Nope. Nope. Let's see what we can do to fix this. So it's over a little bit. So let's see if we can reverse our cheater and see if that'll help any. Not one bit. Not one bit. Swear at it. Yeah, I could. I could at this point. All of our hard work. All of our hard work, fellas. We're going to have to go back and recut it. And that's just how it happens sometimes, unfortunately. That this right here, for some reason, just grabs it and rips it right off the thing every now and then. While I'm trying to dry it and look at it. I'm trying to figure out how we can save this as best as we can, because it's going to make our facets off too, and the last thing I want to do is make our facets run off. Yeah, it would, but we're not done yet. We're not admitting defeat. That ain't us. We're not going to admit defeat on this. Blame the glue company. I probably should. I probably should after all that. You know what we might do? We might just cut through what we're doing. See if we can't. Let's see. We're going to do a little bit of this. We're going to work our cheater around a little bit. Let's see if we can't lower it as well to get that bottom. So I'm not the only one suffering. I know. Well, yeah, a good old dog toot will. Okay, hold on y'all. Hold on y'all. We might have a fix. We might have a fix. I might have fixed it with the cheater a little bit. We're going to persevere through this. Yep, I think we might persevere through this. That way all of this is not for naught. Yeah. We're cutting through it. We're cutting through it. We're doing it. I'm hoping. For sure. It's not wanting to cut all the way at the bottom though. We're going to have to lower it. We're going to have to lower it, which means it's probably going to lower our girdle some. But at this point, we might not have an option. You know what I mean? We may just be stuck with what we got and have to work through it. Which, I'm not going to complain if that's the case. I don't know why it let go. I put a ton of glue on this thing. I don't know why it let go the way it did. Yeah, we're getting through it. That's at least the good news. Because we're getting through it. Another good sign after the stone popped off is even though the girdle is falling low, it's not too terribly low, and it's stopping where it needs to stop. So that's good news. That means I'm going to have to go all the way around this again with that blue disc. Is the unfortunate thing. But I think we can, I think I can do that. That's not gonna kill us. You know what I mean? It's just gonna have to lower it some and go all through it again. But that's alright. Once we get to the higher angles, we're not gonna really have to worry about it at all. Actually, you know what? We might not even have to go throughout all of it again. I'm naming it Jack because it let go. It's true. It's true. It did let go. But you know, the glue let go too. You know, it had plenty of room on the dot. Wouldn't let Jack on the dot. So both of them's at fault. Plus, can we admit that Rose was a terrible person? Just terrible. Alright. She's still in love with this one guy that died on the Titanic with her. Right? Even though she had a husband later on in life, had children, all that. One of her, I think she named one of her children after him. And one of her last thoughts was of him. Not of her husband that she spent most of her life with. Not of her children. Not of none of that. It was the one guy she met on a boat and she had a fling with. Not a great example. Not a great person. And then they went on this whole huge expedition to find this jewel, right? Had it on her the whole time. When they all give up, can't find it, she throws it in the ocean. Where she told them it was the whole entire time. Plenty of room. It was terrible. And you know that expedition had to cost money. Like big time money. Oh, well. It be what it be, and it is what it is. We're getting there. See, now I have to cut that whole facet that we did with that tough flap with this less tough flap. So it takes a little bit more time. Just because of what happened. You know, it just takes. Now we have to be ultra delicate with this stone. Ultra delicate. Any numbers you need written down? Not yet, but we will. But not yet. We're still kind of working our way through this, and I'm going to see just how big of damage it did to the stone and everything like that. I'm so disappointed that we got all the way through that and it let go there. Like there's when it let go. Usually when it lets go, it's letting go on the pavilion, not here on the crown, right? So it was just like a bummer, you know. Gotta treat it like a fine lady. That's true. Gotta be delicate. Gotta be delicate. You know. Oh, yeah. But we're getting to the very last bit of that. So, and look at this. It's not that terribly far down and off. So I don't think we're going to have to touch it back up with the rest of them. Because they're so far, I mean, at this point it's so far down you wouldn't even notice it. If I didn't have the 10 times, I wouldn't notice it. But I'll present it to some jewelers and get their rating on it, and maybe we'll do a video on it and get their rating on it. Oh, that might be pretty fun. See what they think about it. You know, you work all these hours, and you can kind of see where I come from then. You work all these hours to get it done perfectly. And then something messes up, then you have to adjust on it on the fly. Then you take it to a jeweler, and they see that one flaw. Yeah, it could be. They see that one flaw, and they're like, no, it's crap. It's terrible. Should go, you know, should go get eaten by a frog. I don't know, something. I'll probably have to go to their store in like the early morning before they open up though. So there's no customers coming in and stuff like that for them. Just get them to grade it, kind of give you a, it's a sliver. I'm talking about a sliver, not even bigger than part of my thumbnail, but we got to get it. If we don't get it flat, it's gonna refract. Yeah, I know. Well, especially a big person like me. I got to start working out too. I got to start getting in shape again, other than round. I'm just checking. You know what? It's not bad at all. I'm going to be honest. It's not bad at all. So far. I thought it was going to take a lot more out of the stone. Round is indeed a shape. You are correct about that, but I would like to be, it's my preferred shape. It's easy to maintain. That's true. Well, you know, like me and my dad, we used to argue a lot. Not argue like that, but we'd pick with each other. And I'd be like, Dad, it's kind of funny. You do all this weightlifting, you're powerlifting and all this. And I said, you ain't got a six-pack. I said, you round. He looked at me and said, son, what does college girls like most, a six-pack or a keg? I said, well, you may got me there, but still. I'd like to have a six-pack, to be honest, because I don't know, I used to have it and I felt better when I did. It's a protective cover for the abs. I love it. I love it. That's actually a pretty good one. It's my turtle shell. Alright, I think we got it, y'all. Just one more. The six-pack isn't enough for you? Well, no, I'm offended. I think we got it, boys. Boys, I think we did it. Alright, next number, we're gonna... You had to upgrade to a keg years ago? Yeah. Alright, where were we going? 77 is what we're going to next. Oh, thanks to my inspirational leadership. Yeah. I'm telling you, I was about to break down a little bit. That was tough to see that happen, and it made my stomach just drop out from underneath me. And I'm like, oh, We done so much. We did so well. So my hopes is that everything stays the way we need it to. Stays the way we need it to. And there's some glue that got on there, so I'm definitely, like, as we're cutting that glue off too. So we're gonna try to do everything we can to get this at least uniform. It's just a little worrisome, you know what I mean? Since it popped off once and I was just able to get some in that little hole and then try to glue it back up in there. I don't know. It's one of the few times it actually popped off the dop on the inside. And that worries me because that inside's got a cone where that glue can sit, right? So I'm wondering if that glue didn't set correctly in that cone. But I don't know, it could be anything at this point. It could literally be anything at this point. But we're gonna get this last row done. This last few rows done. And then I'll probably do polish off screen. So that way I can inspect it a little better. That way if I have a mental breakdown over it, I don't have to see that. But I think things are going okay. I think we're getting it pretty good. We're just gonna have to use that cheater a lot, I believe. But we'll get that done. That's not a real issue. That's just a worry, more or less. You know, my plan is to still have 34 and C4, C5, C6, C7, C8, and then table done tomorrow on live stream. That's the goal. And even if we got to sit here for 6 hours and get it done, that's my goal, to sit here. Now I might have to take a few days off after that to rest my back, but my goal is to get this done tomorrow. I'm just a little about it right now. But that's why we don't give up here either. Because we got it back on the dot. And we got it working. So we don't give up. Here we go. Here we go, y'all. This is working. So I'm on 77 right now. Next one's 86. I think we already got that marked down, right? Osiris string, laudanum. I'm not gonna mess it up too much. I'm just gonna get done what we got to get done, and this is gonna be my victory stone. I feel like for the week. You know what I mean? We're gonna get this done no matter what. We're getting there though. We're getting there. We're not cutting past anything, which is also good news too. So my big fear is cutting past something as well. We're not doing that, which means that we're actually still pretty right on the money. It's just a few facets are going to sit a little lower than the other ones. And I may even come back and touch those up tomorrow to make sure they all sit even with each other. I don't know. We'll see. Yep. I think you're correct. I think you're correct, Amundo. We're just going to make sure this all sits together. So, let's see. $86. Now the next one after 86, y'all, index wheel 94, angle 6274. Over to the rough part of the lap. Because part of that glue fell where we need to cut. So we have to run it off or grind it off. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do something risky. We're going to take that guard away. It's not so much risky for anything other than just like mess and dust flying, but it will help us get through it quicker, and we are getting through it quicker. Excuse me. And we're just going to grind that little bit away. That's it. We're getting there, y'all. Last little bit. Last little bit for that row of facets. Now, you see how quick we can go from celebration to failure? And then hopefully back to celebrating again. More speed isn't always better, no, but in this case, I would say it is. Because the quicker we can get it done, the quicker I can know if I need to recut all over again. Because it's actually covered up my girdles, and when it does that, I can't tell if it matches my girdles, if that makes sense. So I'm literally trying to do it off of memory, and that's where it gets like, oh Lord, you know. It should match them. Because this one matches the other one. So it should match. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see when we clean it up. Nowhere near deep enough. Nowhere near deep enough. Alright, we gotta go lower. That means we're gonna have to cut all the way around again. And I am probably not gonna do this on live stream. Not cutting all the way around again. So that's just a bummer. I mean, a kick in the teeth. But I will, Lord willing, have this back to where it needs to be tomorrow. I don't even know what the plan is for tonight now. I will, for Lord willing, have this done tomorrow and back where it needs to be to have us start on C4 again tomorrow. So, get a notebook, write down all the marks for where you're leaving off and just work on it tomorrow if you need to. Yeah, I got a pen and I got actually where I'm going to leave off on it. Let's see, we got 77 on C4, and that's where we'll pick up. So we got that marked off. So what I'm going to do is I am going to shut this off, and I'll probably have to go back to the rough plates and cut it some more. But I can do that off stream. So what I'm going to do is, for everybody here who would like to, I'm going to say a prayer. Everybody who wants to can bow their head. If you don't, you know, just respect it. Or if you want to leave, that's fine too. But let's go ahead and bow our heads. God, thank you for everybody who has shown up today. And thank you for everybody that we've got to talk to and meet with. If somebody's soul is not saved, that has been with us today, I would ask that you would work on them in order for their soul to be saved. If anybody's in turmoil or strife or any kind of trouble, I would ask that you would put your love in their heart and lay your peace around them, and hopefully through them accepting you, they will be guided through this and worked as a better person. I want to thank you for all the new friends I've made today. All the old friends I get to talk to. And even with the stone, even though we didn't get to do what we exactly wanted to do tonight, we learned through experience, and it's still going to look great. So we just want to thank you for everything you've been doing in our lives, continue to do. But most importantly, I want to say, let your will be done. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, y'all. So we will talk to y'all later. And yeah, just like my old preachers used to say, as much as I love you, God loves you more. Well, take care and be safe.